With the decarbonisation of social housing high on the UK's agenda, the largest passive house affordable housing scheme in the North West is set to open this spring. Housing industry leaders has come down to the Greenhaus project to take a closer look at the energy efficiency measures incorporated into its design. With these 96 Passive House accredited apartments ring-fenced for affordable housing, what do these standards mean for reducing energy bills for social housing residents?
Salford, I think, is the 18th most deprived area in the country, and the Passive House standard and Greenhouse scheme will offer real benefit to our customers moving in. The expected cost of heating, hot water and space in these apartments is going to be around £40 a month, and that compares to a similar sized property with a gas boiler of about £95 for the same period. So as part of the moving in, we'll have our home user guides that will provide to all the customers. We've also got a designated Passive House officer who's going to be helping the transition for our customers moving in, giving them advice and guidance how to get the best out of the properties, and also follow up during the first 12 months, 24 months of the scheme, just to make sure we're capturing the benefits for the customers to inform future schemes.
Some of the technologies incorporated into Greenhouse's design include triple glazed windows, the latest insulation technology, improved air tightness and ventilation, air source heat pumps and publicly accessible vehicle charging points.
Cool fresh air from outside and effectively mixes it with the stale warm air from the apartment, basically getting the benefit of fresh air coming in that's been warmed by the ambient temperature of the air in the apartment. The benefit of this system for the customers is an intelligent system which has a booster mode, so it senses if there's an increased need for circulation, so if there's cooking or if there's washing in the apartment, then effectively it has a booster mode, works intelligently, so the customer just needs to leave it on, and it's very quiet in both modes.
As the business case for sustainable developments gains traction, passive house design is starting to dominate discourse in the housing sector. The sustainable features incorporated into Greenhaus make the 9-storey development run to an impressive EPC rating of B. Piecing all these energy efficiency measures together, Buttress was behind the architecture of the design. Housing industry leaders spoke to Alison Haig about the project in more detail.
Passive House is a construction standard, and we worked very hard at the design stage to make sure that we simplified the designs so that the contractors could build those designs very easily. So during the process, I qualified as a Passive House consultant and then was able to educate the team into how we could actually do that most easily. We had lots of workshops with Eric Wright, the contractor, and Max Fordham about sequencing, which meant that a lot of problems we might have had on site, we'd ironed out already. The other thing that we did was we had a small mock-up, which was a section of the facade. It was like a box with a door in the back, which we could do an air test in. So we were able to air test things like the windows prior to them being installed. And we did find out that there were minor issues and rectified it on one window rather than on this apartment where we would have had about 1,000 windows to rectify. But really the sort of design concept for the building was to focus on the cathedral, which is opposite, and to give us a bit of a public space, a bit of breathing space on Chapel Street, which is an incredibly busy road, so that you could sit and reflect on that cathedral. So it was an L shape. There were also a lot of constraints on the site. So we have a huge amount of underground services to the back and the side.
As we approach deadlines for ambitious net zero targets, the need to ensure our buildings are energy efficient is becoming more and more important. Within this issue, there has been a developing tension between financing various retrofit programmes with the need for new build properties such as Greenhaus.
Greenhaus is Salix really stepping up and delivering on our strategy. We want to deliver around 300 homes by 2025. This is us progressing that and developing to a really high standard, providing really good affordable housing for our customers, and also contributing towards the net zero target for the GMCA by 2038. Social housing has got to balance investment in existing stock with affordability of our new build schemes and achieving better sustainable standards across our housing stock. In partnership with Homes England and GMCA, funders have supported us stepping up and achieving the Passivhaus certified standard, which is something that I think we've demonstrated that as a partnership we can deliver. We've engaged with our funding partners to make sure that it's a viable scheme for ourselves, and I think the scheme proves that it is viable and is affordable for us to deliver, and that certified Passivhaus can be a new standard within the social housing sector. Salford's got around 6,000 people on the waiting list for affordable housing. That's a key priority strategically for Salford Council, for the wider GMCA. Social housing providers are always facing that challenge for demand.
While it's important to build new and retrofit existing stock with net zero in mind, Passivhaus projects such as these could lay the foundations for a wider rollout of sustainable social homes.